And welcome to the People's Platform. My name is Claudette Joseph. I'm running for state representative, also known as Petra Destinee. And to my left, we have Brother Charles. Good afternoon.
Good day, my sister. How are you?
I'm blessed.
Well, it's an honor to be here.
Well, it's an honor to have you here. And I am so glad that you made it here. And we're going to have a treat for our viewing audience.
Absolutely. Well,
Amen.
why don't you start it off?
Well, I'll do that. Thank you so much. Okay, again, my name is Claudette Joseph, and I'm a retired school teacher of the Boston Public School System. I am a TV producer and host of the Petra Destinee program. I'm a mother, an auntie, a sister, and a friend. And I am seeking a seat on Beacon Hill on November the 4th as your state representative of the 5th Suffolk District. I'm running because I believe in this community and its people, you, my neighbors, my friends, and my family. I see a potential for greatness that must be released. This community is a diamond in the rough. We will shine. My three most pressing issues are these. Can I go on to them? Education. You want to create a viable, community-based public schools, lifting of the charter school cap and expansion of the voucher program to facilitate increased school program choices. Charter schools, trade schools, vouchers, and local schools, parental involvement, elected school official committee, Boston Public Schools as number 1, not number 2, not number 3, not number 4, not number 5. We are tired of being that. We want to be number 1. So we want to make sure that our schools are servicing our children in the way that it should. If Boston Public School was a corporation, guess what? They would have been out of business a very long time ago. They continually have been putting out inferior merchandise and expect to stay in business. Charter schools make them take a good look at what they are doing and afford them an opportunity to step up their game after making the proper adjustments. Competition is healthy. We do not want any more school-to-prison pipelines. We want school-to-college pipeline. Strong families. We will bolster current programs to reduce human trafficking, increase programmatic accountability to the Department of Children and Families. Now, the DCF, which is the Department of Children and Families, should keep families intact whenever possible and build them up with the resources that they have available. We need a rubric that says what an exemplary family resolution looks like and incorporate this into the best practices of the department so that every employee, director, manager, commissioner, and yes, even the governor is on the same page. We need to create a legal environment to safeguard the rights of the preborn, to educate targeted constituents base regarding foster care as well as adoption options. Finally, we want to strengthen the family structure by transitioning families away from economic dependency to economic independence. And on strengthening the families, our elderly family members need to be cherished and treated with the utmost of care. Elderly abuse in nursing homes is a serious problem which needs to be addressed. Housing issues for the elderly. The elderly are forced to live with drug dealers, drug users, thieves, prostitution, and in very unsafe conditions. These people are usually on SSI and should be housed separately from our elderly who are in their golden years and need to have rest. They don't need that. And finally, the economy. We want to expand adult-centered learning, job training programs, job placement programs that reflect current labor market demands. We want to create a voucher-based program with community colleges to develop better skills for the currently employed. We want to raise the visibility of the network of small businesses, development centers to work with entrepreneurs, partnering with the Initiative for the Inner City. These three issues are not the only issues, certainly, in our community and that we're facing, but they are the ones that I have chosen to focus on. However, as we continue to have conversations with the community and hear their needs, we are more than willing to make adjustments to a better quality of life. And finally, in closing, we will rebuild our communities, we will rebuild our families, and we will rebuild our educational system. Give me a hand up and not a handout. Give me an opportunity and not charity. I ask for your vote on November the 4th because together with your vote and your input, we can make a change for the status quo. All right?
Well, Claudette, that's a lot of information that you've given our viewers. And here on the People's Platform, we thank you for being here. And with all that information that you've given us, I would like to dissect some of that so that the lame person would be able to understand. Understanding that over 25 years ago, civics was removed from the Boston public schools. So you have a lot of your constituents that are not civically engaged. Let's start off with first, how would you civically engage your constituents?
Well, I think that number one, that we have a lot of different programs in our community, a lot of community-based programs. I think that in one sense that what needs to be done is that they do need to start offering education in civics, okay? And that would look like maybe instead of some of the meetings that we have at Project Right or at the different other ones around the community, that one meeting would be set aside for civic engagement, which means that you people will learn about the whole process, the government and how it works, okay? And I mean from anywhere from the local politics to the federal, to, you know, and from the state, okay? So they need to know how it works. Because I think what happens is that people are very disengaged, and you know that. They are disengaged with what's going on, and they don't know that their vote counts. And so if they're able to understand that when you go out there and you vote for your city councilor, you vote for your mayor, you vote for your state representatives or your senators, they're the people, your first line of defense in whatever you need to do. And I know when I need services, I'm able to call and say, listen, I need X, Y, and Z. And usually I get things done. Why? Because I'm a voter. Okay, and they check that out. So it's important that, you know, people know that it's, you know, if you're a voter and when you have issues in your community, when you call, they will answer.
Claudette, we just had an election that just took place, and a very low turnout. It stated that about 17% of the registered voters came out to vote. How do you think you can change that?
Well, Charles, Brother Charles, what I would like to do is to impart hope into our community, to impart hope and to let them know that, you know, we're not going to do business as usual anymore. It's time for changes. It's time to see, you know, a new day where what you say in the community counts. When you call that, I will answer you. When you say that, Miss Joseph, I'm having an issue on my street, or I'm having an issue with whatever, that we're going to have people that are going to be there to look out for our neighbors and our constituents so that they will feel connected to the process. Because right now there's a disconnect, and we want to connect our people back and let them know that they count.
Well, that's trying to inspire the constituents, the people. What has inspired you to run for the 5th Suffolk District?
Well, the reason why I'm running for the 5th Suffolk District is because I've always been involved civically. I've worked on the Mel King, the mayor campaign. I've also worked on the Eddie Jenkins for senator campaign. I also worked on
Others?
other campaigns, which for President Jesse Jackson, that just escaped my mind for a moment.
Rainbow
But yeah, the
Coalition,
Rainbow
1984.
Coalition, yes, back in the day. And also,
That wasn't too long ago now.
it seems like a long time ago. But, you know, I've always been, you know, there in the community trying to do things. I've also started a Concerned Citizens for a Better Community, which is my neighbors, and we're trying to, you know, have a better quality of life. So I've started that, I founded that, as well as I was a member of the Black Political Task Force, and I also did, you know, many other things, like, number one, here, there was an issue in our community, and I was teaching civics. I was teaching a class, and basically our kids, we were reading the newspaper, and we found out that, you know, here it is, we have these children being shot to death by police officers. Well, we said, well, what could we do? You know, instead of getting mad in the classroom, what can we do to change it? And so we wrote a bill, and we sent it to the Honorable Stephen F. Lynch, and he took it on. And he was able to write it up in the correct language. And if anyone wants to go to that, it's Senate Bill number 1231, okay? And that just states that what they would do is do a study on all the different ways that we suggested to non-lethal remedy, instead of shooting to kill, that they would shoot to maim or shoot to, you know, to keep life, basically.
As state representative, you're a candidate for state representative for the 5th Suffolk District. State representatives, they push forward legislation like you just brought before us. What other legislation are you looking to support, or are you supporting?
Well, I know one thing that I am looking to support, the cap, the taking off the cap of the charter schools, because again, as I said, you know, we need that healthy competition. And I don't believe in just leaving it off. And, you know, I believe in keeping it off, but I also believe in making our Boston public school systems better than they are. We've got to, it's got to stop.
Remind our viewers, what is the most pressing issue facing the 5th Suffolk District?
Well, in my opinion, it is the lack of education of our children. And the reason why I say that, I believe that if we had our children well educated, and they had goals and ambition, and they were able to know exactly what they wanted to do in life, you would not find them on the streets doing anything other than going to a library and going different places. So you would not find them on the streets selling, you know, doing and pandering and doing whatever else they do. But we have to put in a good structure. And not only that, hand in hand, you also have to have a good family structure, because the family also is going to be a very, very integral part of that as well. And in order for our school to run well, we have to be able to have our parents cooperate with us, to come into the schools, to find out what their children are doing, to know what curriculum is being placed in front of their children. They need to have a voice. They need to have a say. And that's why I look forward to pushing some community, you know, really community schools, getting back to community schools where our children can walk right across the street or a couple of blocks away and have good quality schools.
You're a candidate for the 5th Suffolk District. You're a Republican.
Yes.
Why a Republican and not a Democrat or an independent?
Well, you know, I was an independent for a while, and basically what I did was the issues that concerned me, I felt more that I was more of a Democrat than anything, because I thought, you know, well, listen, you know, I believe in certain rights for limited government, limited but effective government. I believe that people should work, you know, to get what they want. I feel that, number one, that we need to stop getting that handout mentality. We need to stop it.
Early in the show, Claudette, you mentioned our elderly. I like to refer to them as our mature adults. We stand on their shoulders.
Yes.
And as you stated, they have paved the way
Yes.
for us. They're also on a fixed income. Do you believe in raising taxes on the elderly?
Do I believe that they should raise taxes on the elderly?
Absolutely. They're on a fixed income.
No, I don't. I don't.
Also, do you believe that Massachusetts is divided by racism, classism, and economics?
I will go for classism because I think that mostly that you're going to see that issue. And then I will say yes to classism and yes to, what was the other one?
I asked you, Massachusetts, is Massachusetts divided by racism, classism, and economics?
Economics and classism. Yeah.
You don't think it's divided by racism? What do you think is the most asset for the 5th Suffolk District? What do you believe is the most asset for the 5th Suffolk District?
Okay, our people. Our people, they're human capital. And if we can give them the things that they need to be successful, then we will see a big change in this community. Our people, they're our leaders, they're future leaders, they're our future doctors, lawyers, you know, whatever we need. If we can train up our children and get our people on the right path, we'll have, again, like I said, it's a diamond in the rough. These people are, our people are so full of information. You know, even when I talk to people who seem to be throwaways, they are smart. When I sit and I talk to them, I go, oh my goodness, what a waste. So I don't want to see them wasted anymore. I don't like lives being wasted because everybody has a destiny and a purpose for being here. And they have to fulfill that.
Absolutely, and we all have dreams, and some of us have goals, and some of us have action that goes with those goals. What is your plan to push forward the 5th Suffolk District?
Actually, my plan for that is just really to be a good listener to my constituent base, to hear what they have to say, and from what they say is what they elected me, so therefore they have the say in what I do in the 5th Suffolk District.
When it comes to your campaign, what is the makeup of your campaign? Black people, white people, Hispanic, Asian, what's the makeup of your campaign?
I can tell you one thing. I don't know specific numbers, but we have Vietnamese, we have blacks, West Indians, Caribbeans, we have Africans, we have Latinos, Cape Verdeans, you know, so actually this 5th Suffolk District is ethnically diverse tapestry.
Claudette, there are those that say that you are not a viable candidate. What makes you viable?
What makes me viable, number one, again, I guess I have to go back to the things that I am a person that has been in this community for over 50 years. I have been working on issues for over 20 to 30 years in my community. So, and those things make me a viable candidate. I'm not just coming up here saying I want to get on, you know, I want to jump on the bandwagon. I've been working behind the scenes for a very long time. I've been sending information to city councilors, state representatives, senators. Anytime there's something that is of utmost importance, then my view, I make sure that they get that and they do something about that. Whatever it may be, they need to know and they need to work on it.
Most recently at Madison Park High School, I'm a graduate of Madison Park High, the class of 1979. Most recently, there was a protest with the students. The students walked out because when they came to school, they did not have any schedules. What do you say to that?
I say it's really tragic. It really is a tragic thing. I know that I was at the meetings when they were trying to kind of hash things out. I know at one point they were trying to get rid of the headmaster or whatever at that point, and then they didn't have teachers at another point, you know, and that was like maybe a week or two before school started, okay?
Actually, they were short 62 teachers.
Yes, yes. And a lot of teachers who may have came back because they didn't hear anything, they went to other schools. So there's a lot of things that we need to know about this Madison Park.
However, you as a state representative, what would you do to make Madison Park whole?
Well, I will work with my other senators, the other representatives, counselors, city councilors, and the mayor and the governor, whomever it is, to make sure that Madison Park does not close for any reason, because that's the only trade school that we have. And we need that because not all of our children are going to college. But they do need a trade. They do need to be able to do carpentry or whatever the things are that Madison Park has available. They need it.
In 1 minute, if you could say one thing to our viewers, to your potential voters, what would it be? Look right into the camera.
Well, basically, what I would say to my voters is this. We need change. We need a big change. And that change has only come when we do the right thing, and that is to make the best choice. The best choice for you is to vote for Claudette Joseph on November the 4th, because Claudette Joseph loves her community, will do what she can to make sure that her community is strong and viable. We want to rebuild our community. We want to rebuild our families, and we want to rebuild our educational system.
Well, Claudette, thank you very much for being on the People's Platform. It was an honor and a pleasure to be here. And I would like those to know that I support my sister, Claudette Joseph, for running for the 5th Suffolk District.